Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your host, the most famous YouTuber in the world that no one has ever heard of. Okay, welcome back everybody. If you're new here, we are working on this 1925 Model T. We have the engine being fitted for new bearings, and I've been waiting for these for days. So let's see what we got. Oh, I can't even cut a straight line. These were 30 hours late. They managed to get 10 miles from my house, then they lost it. 30 hours later, here they are. We got some instructions. Bore rod size. I tried to get 10 over. They don't have 10 over, so I had to go standard. These used to come with a plastic gauge in the box. These certainly are wrapped better. I wonder who did these. Gene, is this your work? There appears to be a weight, I'm assuming, written on the side. Let's take a look at another one. See if this... Okay, these are not weight matched. 410, 467. 460. What the hell? One of the questions on the website, this one's been welded up. 458. One of the questions on the Lang's website is, are they weight matched? And the answer is yes. Are they weight matched? 410, 467, 460, and 458. Let's see, 6, 7. So we've got a difference of 57 grams across one of them. Now I went with the no dippers and the no oil holes on the top, both sides welded up. This one was never drilled. That one was. Top not drilled, bottom not drilled. And that's the heaviest. 410 drilled, whittled way down, and filled. This is the is this the lightest? Yeah, this is the lightest one. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that cast iron is the heavy component here, because the Babbitt, this is the heaviest one. The heaviest one has still got the cast iron in the top and the bottom. Well, oh boy. That does not make me happy. I thought they were all going to come right out of the box weighing the same, which just means I have to do a little more work. Okay, over to the block itself. I have the crank fairly well fitted. If you'd seen the shorts that I put out, I was trying to bring this one down. This was 30 over. That's what I had, and I don't like it. It's taking forever. I don't like it. So this is going to go back in the stash for another day. Come on. This was just taking way, way too long. So I would have got there eventually. Time is money. And this was not going the way I wanted it to. So I'll set this one aside. Now on the fitting of the crank, if you've seen my other videos, and I've filmed this about a dozen times already, and I just haven't got the I haven't got it right. What I'm using is I'm using Time Saver. You saw me mix some of that up in in the shorts. If you haven't, you can go find them within the last 2 weeks. It's powder. You mix it with oil, put it on the bearings. That's what the springs are for. Because the original bolts, these go in from here, and then there's a nut inside. We've got the plate on the back holding it on the stand, which makes it a pain in the butt to get to. The back two come up, but they're short, so as soon as you pull them out, take the nuts off, they've hit the floor and they'll go wherever they want. So my theory was, if I put the caps on with some time saver under it and put these springs on it, would apply just enough pressure to do the job, and I wouldn't have to keep coming in here and tightening them up and reaching underneath and tighten them up, and it's just way easier. And this is how it works. The time saver goes around, it wears the babbitt down, polishes the crank, and makes the crank fit perfectly to the journal. I mean the bearing to the journal. So I've done that to the point where we are very, very close, and I've put this wood ledge on because this is going to go on here, and then this will go up and down and ride on this ledge, and as you can see, it's starting to saw the board a little bit, but it's the fastest, easiest way to get a perfect match between this piece and this piece. Now, I touched on this a second ago, but I don't think I went all the way through it, so I'm going to do it again. I opted, after a debate on Facebook, that horrible website with the Nazis running it, who have locked me out for a suicide awareness post because I'm inciting violence. So you can guess where I want them to go. But in the debate, before I got locked out, I posed the question, holes or no holes? And what I got back was surprising. Everybody said no holes. And by everyone, I mean the people that count, not the armchair warriors. People that have driven 40, 50, 60,000 miles. Now, what happened when I pulled the original pistons out of the original engine for this? Okay, when I pulled that out, I found all those pieces in. If you haven't seen them, go back and watch those videos. There's like 20 of them. There was pieces of the edge of this babbitt missing. There were chunks taken out. There were cracks. They were broken. I have them in a box there. I could probably... Why not? I'll show you. This used to be part... Am I in frame? Okay. This used to be part of the bearing, which is this piece right here. Okay, so that was one. There's another piece there. That was the dipper that did all the damage. And then there's another piece there. There's another piece there. There's another piece here. I believe that's one. There's another piece right up here. And I believe that's one also. So I posed the question, dippers or no dippers? Because I ordered new dippers. Because these got destroyed. And the engine that we're working on right now had dippers on it as well. Okay, there's a little scoop and forces oil up into that hole, and in the inside there's X's cut out on the rods that came out of that engine before I changed the crank, because either the rods I took out of this engine, or the two pistons that came up too high, I changed the crank, and then these are going to be new rods. But the ones I took out, they had machined a trough in here across the top, a deep one too. I put them all away. I'd show you. Oh wait, here's one. There's a deep trough in there. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on camera, but they machined that trough in. And the answers I got back from the people that actually drive these thousands and thousands of miles. One of them was Dean Yoder, and he has he's become quite famous in the Model T circles for driving a camper around the country, full time from what it looked like. But he hitches his little period camper up to the back of his car and off he goes. They said the longest longevity? No, that doesn't sound right. What lasted the longest in his cars was the original Ford design with no dipper, no holes, no X's, no scoops. And what he said is we need an inch and a half. We need 1.5 thousandths clearance on each side when we fit these in. So that's basically where the time saver stops grinding. So I think we're going to be okay. But I think the next thing we need to do is probably mark which one's going to be number 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the side here. It looks like this one might already be marked for 4. That one says 2 on the bottom. That one appears to be 3, but we'll mark them anyway. We'll mark them again. And then this one appears to be also a 3. So that doesn't help at all. I don't want to twist these because, well, I used to have a rod straightener, but somebody stole it from me. So we're going to grab them down here very, very gently. A little more. Okay. So we don't want it to hit the floor either. And I'm going to try and... Why they tighten these up like that is beyond me. They know we're just going to take them apart when we get them. Okay, so we did pretty good. We didn't do too much damage to the... we got a couple of... We're probably going to grind that off anyway. Okay, let's see how close we are out of the box. Now I am going to use these castle nuts for now, but when we're done they're going away. I use those Chevy rod nuts instead. Oh, good grief. Boy, that's really stuck together. I wonder if he poured them and left them. Maybe that's why it was tight. It is super tight. We can get these. Okay, that one finally. Didn't want to move at first. Okay, so we got that way's normal. I'm going to mark this after. I just want to show you real quick what we're dealing with here. So this is going to be the process I do with all of them. You can do this on the bench too. You don't need to have it hooked to a lathe. It doesn't want to go on. The bolt looks like it's been sandblasted. Oh, it came off easy. Good grief. Okay, so we have the wrist pin bolt on the camshaft side. Well, this should fit right out of the box. Because this crank is a tiny, tiny, tiny bit worn. I imagine we're going to have to do a little bit of fiddling to get it to fit right, but it shouldn't be too much because look at that. Okay, so one thing the old timers will do, and I don't think it's necessary on this one because it's not really, is they'll find a sticky spot and they'll tap it and then free it up, basically changing the shape of the babbitt to match the crankshaft. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the... Okay, one dead battery later in the camera. I filed this down a little bit and I put a couple of ones on. Hopefully I can see them well enough. The next step is going to be to put the lapping compound on, because that was dry. I'm going to take my oil can with the lapping compound in it. Maybe I need to put some more in there. Anyway, we're going to smear that around. That back on. Smear some on here. Where that came from. That's better. That on there. Put our nuts back on. I'm not putting a whole lot on there, just now if you're doing this on the bench you want to go all the way around. But I'm not doing it on the bench and I can't go all the way around this way. So we'll let the machine do the work. It doesn't take long. And we can't forget about our side clearance. We definitely need side clearance. Because the only way for oil to get in that is to come in on the sides. Now you notice I have these two bearings unhooked. I'm going to, before I do the rest of them, I'm going to take this off, re-oil all these, and then I'll put the springs on all four of them, all three of them, so that they don't fly around. I'm just doing a proof of concept. See, now it's getting loose. Now it's getting loose, so in theory that is fitted perfectly. So what I want to do now is I want to take it off and I want to take a look at it. That should have 1.5 thousandths clearance all the way around. And it feels really nice. Look at that. We will not be dragging this around the block the first time we want to start it. Okay, let's not get mixed up. Now if they had included plastic gauge, I could prove to you that this was a perfect fit, but I don't have any. Okay, so we've got, there's our one. Okay, I think I can see that clear enough. And if you look, you can tell the difference. We got super shiny. And we've got that dull to it. I think I'm going to go with a lesser grit on the next one. But you can see the coverage. It's touched everywhere. Even on the sides. Where was that mark I put in it? It was the vice mark. The vice mark is less now too. A little bit. So that's how you fit rods and mains with time saver lapping compound. This right here has the 40 in it. This one right here I made up in that. That's the 100. I think that's what I'm going to use in the next one. It's a 100 in Marvel Mystery Oil. I just got to get it resuspended in the oil, and then I can use this to fine tune each one of these rods. Yeah, I'm going to go with that one next. Came up with this idea because I have like a bajillion horsepower available. Why not use it? Right? Why not?